Universe, everybody. I am your host, Sean, and we are back. This is a Man United News Roundup on a very hot summer afternoon. I don't know where you guys are, but it is about 93, 94 degrees here in the great state of Michigan. Honestly, the mitten state in the summer, the mitten should just be in the shape of a middle finger. It's ridiculous how hot it is. But we are here today to talk a little United news. Obviously, some big bombas dropping today. We've got some other news with a player who is at United already. And I want to get your thoughts on some of the World Cup because we got some shocking, a bit of shock results today. So Ian's going to jump on in. Dylan is having his best life today. Obviously, Dylan was here last night. If you didn't go catch that show, please go do that as well. But Dylan's hanging out. I'm going to leave you guys with the intro real quick. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will be right back. What is going on, Ian? How are you, my friend?
Good afternoon, evening, everybody. I'm good, mate. Yeah, it's warm here as well today, but nowhere near like the other day. So
surviving the heat, at least you made it. You made it through. That's all that matters, right?
Oh yeah, I'm all good. I'm all good.
I'm hoping to do the same. It is ridiculously hot today. Was supposed to go fishing today. I'm actually secretly a little happy that I didn't. The guy who invited, he's like a neighbor down the street. He went out last night as well. And then when he's out, he sent me this photo of his trailer. Like some bearing on his trailer completely failed, and he lost a tire, so he's got no way to trailer the boat. So, So took a rain check, which honestly, not even like I'm just letting the dogs out for a second, and even just standing out there for 8 seconds, I'm miserable. So, but it is what it is, man.
It sounds like just sitting in a boat sounds all lovely and relaxing, but when you think about you're in the middle of the water and that heat, no. That's just cooked.
And the thing people forget too, like it's because this happens in the snow too. You can get sunburn on a bright snowy day.
Oh yeah.
And off the water because that sun is just reflecting right in you. It's why I wear a buff. That's why I wear a hat, glasses, and everything. It is very, very hot and sunny, but it is what it is. Summer in Michigan, we know what to expect by now. Danny B's in the house. Big up, Danny. How are you doing? Dylan, like I said, out here living his best life, just hanging out by the lake up in the thumb of Michigan, giving us a thumbs up there. Big up, Dylan, man. You deserve to do after working, getting your master's and everything, and after teaching all summer or all spring, dude. Well done, man. Go enjoy that, dude.
Kick back and earn it, bro.
You have earned it, but yeah, we're going to talk a little transfers, talk some World Cup as well. You guys, let us know if you have a preference. If you want to start with transfers or you want to start with the World Cup, I'll leave it up to you guys in the chat. Let us know how you're doing today. And don't forget, too, it is 20% off in the UVE store. It is the last day for 20% off, you guys. There is a link, I think, pinned in the chat if I remember to do it. Sometimes I forget to do it, but
I think that was,
it is 20% off final day for that. You can go get yourself one of the OG green and golds if you want. These have been around for like since the store even started, just these OG green and golds. So
mine should be here any day now, I think.
Yeah. That should be fun. I'm excited to see you wear it, man. It's nice to see. It's why I don't make them, like, obviously I don't have them sitting around the house, right? It's print on demand. I make the designs, you guys order them, they come from someplace else. I have nothing to do with any of that at that point, but I also don't make them very expensive. I said from the get-go, I'd rather see, if I see just one stranger wearing one, I will be a happy man. That would be amazing. Because that's
what you want. You want to go to Old Trafford once and just someone walk past wearing it, and you're like, well, I'm retro. I'm going new as well today. The daughter got this for me the other day, and no, not from the Glazers, not a single penny.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but
well done.
It is. I know we went to JD or somewhere the other day, and I was saying that Debs is standing next to me, and she's had my one in her hand, and she went over and she went, "It's no different. The only difference is the stitching round one of the badges." She said he's a double stitched on the official players one. On my one, it's the only different. Material's the same, everything. Pattern.
Honestly, with some of these sites like GoGoalShop, the one I use, unless you scan the QR code or something, you literally not know the difference.
This cost her $12.49 and £3.99 postage.
Nice.
That was it.
Was that OK Jersey? Is that where that came
Yeah.
from? Yeah. Nice. Well, let me see who else is jumping in the chat here. Jimbo in the house. Big up, Jim. Long time no see.
Jimbo!
Hope you're having a good one. Mike Hill. Welcome back, Mike. Hope you guys are having a
Mr.
good
Hill.
day as well. Rob Taft, the fantasy master.
United.
That's not a weird sex thing. That is, he's in charge of fantasy football. So big up Rob Taft, doing his thing, doing the Lord's work. Bilal's in the house. Big up Bilal. Yeah, we'll be talking about that a little later, Bilal. But big up you guys. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. Since nobody put their 2 cents in, we're just gonna start with where I started in my notes with the World Cup bracket because we've got some funny little results. In case you guys missed it. Couple things happened in the World Cup in the last couple of days. We'll start with Paraguay versus Germany.
Can we?
This one went all the way to pens, sudden death pens. By the way, Paraguay ended up winning this one. It was nuts for a second there. I'm gonna get your thoughts here in a second, Ian. But so the shootout itself was nuts for a second. Paraguay were ahead by like a couple. They went like 2 in a row, and Germany had missed. And then Paraguay missed a couple in a row to pretty much gift Germany like an opportunity to come and steal this out from under them. And then, guys, this is why you don't let your center backs take pens. Jonathan Tah completely puts his, I think it's still soaring in orbit someplace. Skies his effort. Germany lose on pens. Paraguay advance. Dicey little thin ice for Julian Nagelsmann at the moment. What were your thoughts on the game? What are your thoughts on the shootout? What are your thoughts on Germany going out? What are your thoughts on Nagelsmann's future, Ian? You guys get involved too in the chat.
First of all, on the game, the team that won deserved to win. Paraguay worked their socks off. They were lucky, and they rode it, but so were Germany. Paraguay weren't 12 men behind the ball type of thing. They were giving it as good as they got. I think you could tell the Germans were happy for it to go to penalties as soon as the first period of extra time kicked off, because they just did nothing. They posed zero threat. They seemed to be taking attacking players off and bringing defenders on, which I couldn't understand, but they were obviously wary. But they didn't try to win, in my opinion. They went to penalties. Some of their penalties were awful. I mean, awful. The Paraguay penalties, I was sitting here going, because they had clearly practiced. By the way, their keeper, I said it in our group chat, I'm sure we have been linked with him today. Because if not, why aren't we? He plays in Argentina. Let's go and get him. Next Romero. But
it was the pens were. It was interesting stuff. It was interesting that Nagelsmann opted to start Undev this game after he's been kind of bringing him on late. I thought he's looked really, really good as kind of an impact sub during the group stage, and then he started him, and I think that kind of threw everything off a little bit in terms of just the way they're building up.
He just doesn't drop in for that hole that Musiala would normally be creating.
Yeah, because you've got Havertz, you've got Undav, and you're trying to squeeze everybody in there, which again, it's just, I just don't know, man.
It doesn't, it never works.
What do we think about Nagelsmann? Because
I think if he hadn't, I bet they regretting giving him a contract before the World Cup, a new one, because if they sack him now, I bet it's going to cost a fortune.
Yeah, unless somebody comes and buys him, but
which is glad we didn't. But unless someone like Klopp is approached and the Germans tells the German FA he'll do it, I think they'd have to stick with him because there's no one better.
I just don't know why you get a manager that is so tactical for your national team. I just don't think tactics really lend themselves all that
to cup football.
That's why Jose Mourinho would be a manager who I think would do really well managing.
If I was the Germans, team. I'd go for that.
Yeah, Klopp would do very well managing a national team. There's very little tactics involved.
No, he can stick with one way of playing and get used to it. But I mean, it was a moment of great retribution and joy for me to see Germany lose on penalties at a World Cup, because I have been on the receiving end too many times I can't speak about. They are too painful. But when he stepped up and put that over the bar, or over the tar, as I call it.
Over the top, ta-ta, right? Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, well, that's what I said, Tartar Germany, or over the
Auf
tar.
Wiedersehen.
Yeah. It was a moment of, I've never been so happy. Not since Roberto Baggio put that penalty over the bar in the World Cup
Or
and Brazil
John
won.
Terry in the Champions League final.
Oh no, that was better because it was John Terry.
Yeah.
And it was United, so it always tops anything else. But the Germans losing on pens in a World Cup makes me very happy.
What do you make of this claim? Obviously, Nagelsmann and a couple others were not too happy that they're so
disallowed goal.
For a second there, it looked like Ta had snatched one, and then so Dylan and I ended up watching some of this after the live show last night. We were kind of still in the studio here, and we were kind of watching it together.
Yeah.
But yeah, did you think it was a foul on the keeper? Do you think they got robbed? Do you think they're hard done by?
No, I don't. I think if you go arm in arm with a goalkeeper, he's got every right to fall over, and if he doesn't, he's an idiot, right? Yeah. Because that is, and I do agree with the quote. Then, 45 or 50% of Arsenal's goals should have been disallowed this season. Absolutely should. Yeah. Well, West Ham wouldn't argue with you.
Yeah,
they wouldn't have been relegated if it wasn't for that.
It was definitely a foul. Defender had no eyes on the ball.
You can't put your arms on the goalkeeper.
Yeah. He wasn't looking at the ball at all. He was only looking at the keeper. He was only looking to block the keeper off.
And he turns his back when the keeper falls over, and only when. So, yeah, sorry, mate. No.
And I do agree that, yes, a lot of Arsenal's set-piece goals would not have stood. I totally agree with that. But at the same time, that's on the refs. I blame the refs more than anything. Because the law is there. The law is in the laws of the game, and the refs just keep letting it go week in, week out. And so don't blame Arsenal. If you're not going to get called for it, you're just going to keep doing it, right? Like
I actually gonna say something here, which I didn't think I would. I actually been quite impressed with the VAR in the World Cup. I think they're a lot quicker than any VAR decision I've seen ever made in the Prem.
Yeah,
it seems a lot more
Premier League referees.
Yeah, well there you go then. Yeah, it's a quality, isn't it? But I'm sorry, you can't complain. Was it a fantastic header? Yeah, it was. But was the keeper? The keeper nearly gets back up and saves it. Yeah. If he's not fallen on the floor, they might still score. Well, don't push the keeper over and see.
I was actually more upset with the keeper because he obviously gets the foul, right? But he and a couple of others, his defenders, were kind of just curled up on the ground. Not like he was selling the injury. He was like he was sad. He was upset that they conceded. I was like, what are you doing? If they're looking at this for a foul, don't sit there and act like you just conceded a goal. Get up and get in the ref's face. Like
get angry about it.
Some of that gamesmanship, you need to give the ref a decision to make here. Thankfully, the right call was made, in my opinion, and in yours, and it sounds like, and obviously Nagelsmann's going to be a little upset about it. It is what it is.
Well, you would be. If it goes against you, it goes against you. He can't sit there and clap it, can he?
Again, blame the refs if it doesn't get called in the Premier League. I don't blame like if we were doing if that's the kind of set pieces we were scoring from and the refs just weren't calling it, whatever. We actually score quality set pieces, so it is what it is. But
it's very similar to the way that Casemiro scored one of his headers for us. But the problem is, if I don't think the goalkeeper is doing anything about the flight of that ball.
No.
So, in my opinion, I think Jonathan Tah probably still has a fairly high, more than 50% chance of scoring still. If he gets that same header with that same amount of power and the same direction, which he obviously would, even if the goalkeeper's not been pushed over, they might have scored and Germany would be through. But if you put your hands on the goalkeeper, that's your problem.
We'll never know, will we?
Exactly. No, we won't. It's their fault.
Speaking of the type of managers to maybe not hire, Netherlands were eliminated by Morocco in another match that went to pens. Again, two went to pens. Issa Diop pulled it level in stoppage time, but captain and supposedly the greatest Premier League center back ever, Virgil van Dijk, did not even want to take a pen in that one. True leadership, that right there.
Oh,
it was probably his last ever World Cup ever, most likely, and he's like, I don't want to take this pen. I'm not buying the whole he felt some discomfort. I'm sure he did feel some discomfort. I'm sure he was not comfortable taking the pen.
He felt sick in his ovaries.
But I'm a little done with these Dutch managers because Ronald Koeman, he's just not a good manager. I thought the Netherlands were slow. They were too cautious. They were, like in true Dutch fashion, rarely direct, rarely went vertical. They just weren't brave enough. They didn't back themselves enough.
Just every time they went direct, Sean, they looked threatening.
Yeah.
But they did it about 4 times in the whole time of the whole game.
Yeah, it's just you can't. It's just too Dutch. And it's not xenophobic, but if you just look at the Dutch managers that we've seen
Huh?
in the last 10, 15 years, it's all very similar. Very
Yeah,
just on the floor. Van Gaal, Ten Hag, Koeman, De Boer,
boring,
these like
boring, boring.
Arne Slot, even just
Yeah.
it's just high percentage. This keep it on the ground. Like I'm just you can't do that, man. Especially not in
Doesn't
national
suit
team. It
modern
just doesn't
football.
work.
Or no, you're right.
No, you
Also,
have to
the
take
worst.
risks. In a cup
Absolutely.
competition, you have to take risks.
Yeah, I mean, there's two reasons that they didn't win. Morocco weren't winning in normal time. One of them was Bart Verbruggen, and the
Yeah,
other one
yeah, yeah.
was some absolutely greed, or would either call it greed slash indecision, because there's at least 3 times they could have centered it for a tap in. Akimi wanted to score more than anything in the world, and he
Yeah.
was hitting shots. I mean, granted, they were belters, but I think the second to last one, he squares it, Sabari taps it in, it's over for the Dutch in
Yeah.
normal time. But two Verbruggen saves, point blank. I'm talking that's proper reactions for a big geezer as well.
Yeah.
They're
He's
good,
good.
yeah.
He's a good keeper. I did a scouting report on him before he was at Brighton, back when I had
Mm.
that old website. When I think he at Anderlecht or Clip? I can't remember now where he
Anderlecht,
was,
yeah,
but it
no, it
was
was
very, very
Anderlecht, yeah.
long time ago. He's a good keeper. It took, obviously, his
Mm.
first season at Brighton, he was still very young. He was still what 21 when he joined Brighton or something.
Yeah.
So Steele was obviously the starter, but I think Verbruggen's really come into his own. So keep a lookout on him. I like Verbruggen a lot, but I think we've got one of the best keepers around at the moment. So
Oh yeah,
more
he's not as
good.
good as Senna. Don't be silly.
Oh man! And what about this match that just finished? Obviously, I was trying to get in between these matches. I'll try to get you guys out of here in time for the next one. Ivory Coast versus Norway. I don't know what you think. I thought Ivory Coast, for the most part, looked like the team just more up for it from the start. They were energetic. They were pressing. They weren't just sitting back. It was just for me. I thought, especially in those first half to that first hour, just a little bit of a lack of quality in that final ball. A little bit lack of.
Mm.
Some people were not committing to putting the ball in the box. Like there was that early chance from Doué. I think even Nicola Pepe had told him after, like, why didn't you put that in the box? It's just something like that. There was a chance for a ball that had popped up and then fallen towards the edge of the box. And there was an opportunity for one of the Ivory Coast players to hit that first time, and he kind of just opted to stop and kind of turn. Like nobody wanted to take the shot.
No,
Really
everyone wanted
annoying
to
to
be the
watch.
hero.
Yeah, it was really annoying to watch. Nobody wanted to take responsibility. Norway snagged a goal through Nusa, which, like, to his credit, really, really, really good goal. But again, when no one
Slack
closes you down
defending.
at the edge of the box, like
Yeah.
you're gonna get all that time and energy to put that where you want to. Nobody
He
just
did genuinely look like he couldn't believe how much time he had. He
yeah.
sort of
Well,
stops. He stops. And he's like,
yeah.
oh right, yeah.
They flipped the runners, and so Doué was picking up the runner, and then Nicola Pepe was the closest, and he was like, "Oh shit, there's 10 yards between me and Antonio Nusa on the
Yeah,
corner of our box. I should probably go close him down." It was just too late there.
yeah.
Ahmad comes on, and shit gets
Total
real.
difference.
Equalized after a short bit of time. I think the water break helped. I think that definitely helped Ivory Coast
Oh
regroup
yeah.
a little bit. Really good goal though, combining really well, like we've seen him do at United, getting on the edge of it, putting it home with the left. Then
He
Holland
really
bags
thrives
one.
off that give and go, doesn't he? He
Yeah, I
likes
think
that
we
little
need to do
slick
more of
give and
that.
go.
We need
Yeah.
to do more of that at United. I think we will. I think we saw glimpses of it late on this the last several weeks under Carrick. A
Mm.
lot of those triangles, a lot of that interplay. That's Michael Carrick ball. For anyone who's wondering how Michael Carrick's going to play, that's what he likes to do. We saw it against Arsenal, City in deeper areas, and we've seen it in the final third as well.
I mean, Rob mentioned it in the group chat, like how much quality Ahmad had brought since when he came on,
Yeah,
and like Danny started saying, it's the similar. If people are thinking Yan Diamondi is worth X amount of money, then Ahmad's worth double.
yeah. I'm a
If
like
that's what value we're going off, silly scale.
he's so
Because
good, man. He nearly
well, 10
leveled
minutes
it
he
later
done more
on.
than Diamondi did in the
Yeah.
whole game.
He nearly leveled it too. So obviously Holland bagged one to just a simple square ball flash across the face of goal. He just
Mm.
kind of taps it in, makes it 2-1. Ahmad nearly leveled it right there at the end with a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant free kick. It was beautiful. You couldn't have done anything more with it, in my opinion. It was just also a really good save from Nilan. To deny him, so you gotta also give the keeper his flowers. That's the kind of saves we used to see David De Gea make on a regular.
Yeah.
Like just brilliant save. You can't say. I mean, Again, I thought Norway, just to me, they weren't super up for it to start. I think they relied heavily on the goal scorers a lot of times. I thought Ivory Coast, just with a little better quality in that final ball, could have done more. What did you make of that game?
So I didn't watch as much as I would like. So I was sort of in between doing little jobs and then sort of getting dinner ready and going in, getting them ready for this. But yeah, I thought it was pretty much similar. I thought it was just lacks of concentration from Ivory Coast with a little bit lack of quality when it came
Yeah.
down to it. Until Ahmad came on, which completely changed it. I thought Norway was so obvious. I mean, Odegaard is, if we already all know that he's absolutely useless. And they are clearly looking for one thing and one thing only, and that's the ball through to Haaland.
Yeah.
And if they get it and they get it right, you're in trouble. If they don't, you can bag Norway. But like you said, it was the lack of quality and defensive awareness that cost them today.
Well, Norway get Brazil next in this little
That'd be
bracket
interesting.
here. Yeah, Dylan and I kind of went through this yesterday, and I let him kind of pick and choose what he thought. And he had France-Argentina final, but he actually had France winning it this year. Argentina do have the easiest quadrant, I think, in my opinion, down here. They don't really face hardly anybody of note, honestly. France, Sweden kick off in about an hour and a half. That could be a really interesting one. The winner of that will face Paraguay, so that could be good. Canada play Morocco. I do think this is where Canada's World Cup run ends, however. So I think Morocco are just too good.
Yeah, Morocco are wave after wave after wave, and I just don't think Canada are ready for that. And the same with tonight. France, the unfortunate thing for Sweden is their two main weapons are clearly Isaac and Gyökeres. And Gyökeres needs space to run into, and Isaac needs the ball. That doesn't work to one system. You can't play one way and both strikers be effective. All you're going to see tonight is Upamecano stand next to Victor Gyökeres and not leave his side. And the ball goes over the top. Upamecano's quicker. France know it. And there is no way on this earth that Sweden keep out France. It's just not happening. It's not happening. They're going to start Lindelof.
And I put up the graphic yesterday, too. Dylan and I were talking about it, breaking down the tactics that teams have been using in the group stage on and off the ball. And they were speaking about it a little bit during the commentary for this game that just ended, that the teams off the ball are happy to sit deep. They're happy to let the opposition kind of carry it out unopposed, basically, is what the graph showed. Not a whole lot of counterattacks because there's not a whole lot of room to counterattack. And maybe that'll open up a little bit now that it's a single elimination now. You have to kind of take more risks. We'll see. But
I think that plays into France's hands, though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You give their attack, which is probably man for man the quickest out of any in the tournament. You give them the space to run into. That's when you're in trouble.
What are you predicting for France v Sweden? You think France will just have too much?
I think France are going to wash them. I'd say 4. If there's a possibility they might score, so I'll go 4-1.
Yeah. That could be probably looking at a France-Morocco for the next one between that quadrant.
Is that on the same side? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, because it goes into one. Yeah. Or France-Morocco, I'd like to see. I would like to see that.
I worry about Morocco. They're very reliant on Hakimi and Saibari kind of linking up a little bit. I'd like to see a little bit more options in that final third a little bit. Where's Etzel Zuli at? Where is this guy at?
This is it. I think they didn't have a couple of injuries, isn't it? They were saying about El Nasir as well, their upper striker.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they're waiting for him to come back. But do you know what I did like? You making another point about it. I've watched back an extended highlights of that game, and what I like, he wasn't super involved in the whole game. No big moments, but I like Bouadi was so deep.
Yeah.
But he was totally in control of that part of the midfield for the entire game. He never looked flustered, even when it come to the last gasps of the game. He just looked like he was just
Even
whatever.
Even under pressure, he didn't look like he. I never really thought he was going to lose possession or get forced off. His positioning was good. He just finds a space and makes himself an option. He just kind of keep thinking. He's just always an option for his teammates. Then,
he's
like
very aware.
Yeah,
very
and then
aware,
back foot,
spatially aware.
The anticipation, the back foot defending, just sweeping up. I mean, you need that in a side. I would love a player like that at United against certain opposition. Again, you want to have some different tools for different jobs.
Especially in that team, like you said, where Hakimi was basically a forward.
Yeah.
He's playing right back, so yeah. But he was so effective without being the most noticeable player on the field.
Yeah, I like him. I don't know, like 70 million. Too. You think he's worth 70 million, Buwadi?
I would pay it. Yeah, I would pay it. Do you know what? Do you know what it is? Right, I put him in the same bracket. People can say it's not a FIFA thing though. This was a Football Manager thing long before FIFA. He's a wonder kid. He's in the Lenny Euro bracket. We're paying for what he will be. We're just lucky he's as good as he is now. There's no point in paying for anybody if he hasn't got no potential. That's the point I'm saying, like that. But while he's got potential.
Word is Lille are demanding the 70 million, but they want him back on loan for a year. Is that worth it?
It depends what kind of structure that 70 million is then. That would have to be a real in our favour structure. And then go on then.
Yeah, he's a really good player. I like him a lot.
I'd rather know we were 100% add him in a year's time than go toe to toe with anybody for him now. I'd much rather do that.
Oh, real quick, I want to give a shout out to Jimbo. He's celebrating 8 months of membership. He says, "Good maths tonight, I hope." Big up, Jim. You get one of these.
Jimbo.
Sir, I appreciate all the support, you guys. Yes, also, always check out the memberships, you guys. It is the best way to get involved in the content. As the members can attest to, we've got a WhatsApp group for Starting 11 members, and it is bumping all day long. Tons of people giving thoughts and opinions on different things, raging about this, laughing about that. Mostly it's just us laughing about Virgil van Dijk's.
There's a lot of that. There is a lot of that.
It is a great little community. Just because the stream ends doesn't mean the conversation has to. So check that out. Starting 11 Legends members get a say in content like scouting reports. You can make suggestions for scouting reports, and Legends do get early access to exclusive videos. Speaking of scouting reports, I'll have one for you guys Thursday as well. Fresh new batch, 5 young stars, rising ballers, everything you guys could look for. So you guys can look really, really smart in front of your friends in a year when those players become household names and you say, told you. But big up Jim for celebrating 8 months and reminding me about membership shout outs, because I want to make sure you guys don't forget about that as well.
Big legend.
Let's get caught up on the chats here, you guys. Jim also says Boadi would show ambition, so we're not getting him. I mean, we the same with Euro, though. We got Euro, and it was literally same club, same kind of bracket, like Ian puts it out. So, and we did pay a lot. I mean, Liverpool spent a lot of money on Jeremy Jacquet as well. How much?
It's the potential you're paying for, isn't it?
Yeah, 70 is a bit. That's a bit higher than I would want to go for Boadi personally. And I know it's not.
The thing is. Go on. No, sorry, cut you off.
No, I was gonna say, I know that, like I've said many times, like the transfer fee itself is not altogether as important necessarily as like the wages and the structure of the fee itself. But at the same time, it's the message that it sends. It's 70 million is because that's what the player is gonna think in his mind whenever he makes a mistake and the media start going in on him. It's not gonna be Boadi. It's gonna be 70 million pound player, is a flop or something.
Yeah.
Because that's how your identity is as a footballer now. It's the price tag. I mean, how long did we see that about Harry Maguire?
Very much.
£pound defender.
Very much. I think it's also your circumstances, though. A lot of that was things weren't going well for us, were they? We'd given him the captaincy, and United is just a different level of media to anyone else. We get more screwed. We could sign the same player. So Elliot Anderson is being touted at the moment as the greatest thing since Zinedine Zidane. If we rewound time and Man United bought him, and then we fast forwarded to now, it would be the biggest mistake anyone's ever made. Man United overpaid, waste of money, Newcastle reject. That's the polar opposite. I don't think 70 million's too much, and I'll tell you why, because I think 70's the new 50, 50's the new 20. You're not getting anything good enough to play for us for less than that. And I know you can say, Senna Lemon's 20 million. Yeah, goalkeepers are very different. I'm sorry, there aren't very many. There may be a handful of 20 million pounds players today. and I can name two that I think could be good enough to play for Manchester United. I'm not that's no guarantee. That's not like I know Tchouaméni will be good enough to play for us. Caleb Urenki we could get for 20 million, maybe there or thereabouts. And we all know we think the kid has definitely got the potential. Is he good enough to play for us right now? Ready to play for us right now?
Not week in, week out, no. But
exactly.
As a rotation option.
Maybe we could get him and loan him back in the same way. Now, Bouadi, is he ready? He looks like it, but the Premier League is very different.
I think he's more ready than Urenchi is.
Yes, he is.
Bouadi.
And then you've got another option. Bouadi's not in the 20 million, but you've got maybe an Agume for the 20 million. And that's completely different. Now, that is European ready, top league in Spain ready. Is he Premier League proven? No one cares. He's a massive upgrade on what we haven't got. Now, that isn't normal.
We're going to talk about it as well. The Premier League proven thing is starting to kind of screw everybody over. I think
it's a joke.
Because,
it's a sticker on a box.
When benchmarking gets involved, obviously, City are son of we benchmarked ourselves last summer a little bit with the Cunha deal. Like, it does play a role in moving forward. That's why I said weeks ago that whoever makes the first big signing in terms of these midfielders, they're really going to set the stage for everybody else. And City, obviously, unfortunately for everyone else, were the ones that did it, and they're just not going to care. They just don't. They'd rather just do the money. Like the same with getting Maresca. They'd rather just pay the money, get what they want, and then deal with the consequences later, as long as they get who they want. Which
all that happened was Maresca said sorry, and Chelsea went, "Oh, okay."
Some United fans might say just do that, but maybe I'm just a bit too idealistic. Maybe I'm naive, maybe I'm just old. I don't know. I just don't agree with that kind of approach, personally.
No.
But
no, I'm definitely not down with the cheating.
No. So World Cup tonight, France, Sweden. Who else is going on? So you've got France. I'll probably go France too because it's France. And then Mexico, Ecuador. Ecuador and Mexico could be very interesting. Where is this match at? It's in Mexico. I feel like Mexico are getting a lot of matches in Mexico.
Yeah. I don't want any more border control issues.
I don't understand how they keep getting all this home turf advantage here. Like, it's a little nuts. But Mexico have not lost a whole lot of matches in Mexico. Internationally, they've lost 2 out of 80 something. I think I heard on Wayne Rooney's podcast earlier. Bit nuts. What did you miss, Dabasi? We were just recapping a little bit of the World Cup matches today, laughing at Virgil van Dijk, laughing at Germany as well.
The usual, Deb.
We're going to talk a little transfer news here now, you guys. Please make sure you like. Please make sure you subscribe. And like I said, it wasn't going to be a super, super long show today, but still want to get your thoughts because obviously there's some big news popping up. So we're not going to dive into the Mateus Fernandes stuff right yet. I'm still kind of basking in the fact that we didn't really mention him at all yesterday, so that was fun.
Nice.
But let's talk about a possible redemption arc. Let's dive right in. We got an update here from Romano. We got an update here from a lot of sources. Let's see what Fabrizio Romano had to say about a certain left winger. Apparently, United had direct contact with Rashford's camp, amicable talks with the club, United open to welcoming Rashford back to training, and Marcus open to start preseason under Michael Carrick. No guarantee he stays yet, with eventual bids to be considered later on, but important step to rebuild trust. All sides open to reintegration to the squad. Important step to build trust. Ian, chat, how do you feel about this? Is
that Fabrizio, did you say, Sean?
Yeah.
What you just read out. Can you just reread the first 2 lines to me? Because we are... What? Go on.
United had direct contact with Rashford's camp, amicable talks with United.
Okay,
United
stop there.
Open to welcoming Rashford back.
Are we trying to sign him? That's exactly the language they use when we're trying to sign somebody that's not already our player. We don't have to speak to his camp or be amicable with him. We own him, whether he likes it or not. Marcus, get here now. Bang. Please, could you ask Marcus if he'd like to talk to us today? We'd be nice to him. Everyone's okay with it. Stop talking utter waffle.
It sounds like the talk is less about come to preseason. It's more about what does the future look like for you and the club right now.
That's Rashford's agent.
New manager now, obviously no more Amorim. I don't and this is one of the things, in my opinion, Amorim got right personally.
Yeah, I did.
Coming down on Garnacho, coming down on Rashford when their head wasn't in the game.
Yeah.
What do you guys think in this? Where's the trust? Is the trust broken beyond repair? I put a poll in the chat on whether or not Marcus Rashford should get a second chance at United. So far, 60%
No.
say no, he should not get a second chance.
I'm
I tend to
over
agree.
there.
I don't, and I've said this many times, I don't have a problem necessarily if there's a player who, like Ronaldo, when like his dream was to go to Real Madrid. What it is, what it is. I agree with Fergie not letting him go right away because of the way the Real Madrid's president was behaving and publicly. Totally agree with all that.
Yep.
But what I have a problem with is when you give unsanctioned interviews with Henry Winter, and especially after all the stuff leading up to that, the behavior, the Belfast, all the responding to people on social media,
Disrespect.
the disrespect, the sheer drop in effort after you got your new contract was the biggest one for me. I have a problem with that, all of that. That's where the trust is broken to me. Fans will forgive a poor run of form. They'll forgive something, but they will not generally forgive you for openly giving unsanctioned interviews saying you want to go play someplace else. That's not something that I like. It's not something that a lot of fans like. So for me, no, get him out of here. Don't know how everyone else feels in the chat. 60% of you say say he shouldn't get a second chance. Ornstein chimed in on this today. Ian said that Ugarte's injury that could be leading to this.
Sorry, they use anything then. What's it? No. Marcus can come back now because he did. What his big problem was the grass, and we've got rid of all the grass now. So yeah, he just didn't like it. All right, I'll bottom line this for everybody. Marcus Rashford didn't leave because of Ruben Amorim or any manager. He didn't come out and in his interview with Henry Winter and go, "I hate it here. Ruben Amorim treats me like a slave. I don't want to be here. I love Manchester United. I love it, but he's driving me out." No, he didn't. He came out and he slated this football club. He slated everything we have stood by him and done for him since he was this big. He didn't mention Ruben Amorim once. He mentioned Manchester United over and over and over again as the people that were holding him back, ruining his career, refusing to let him go like we had him locked up under Carrington.
Yeah.
That, then, I'm sorry, I don't care who you are, you're done. If he said that to Alex Ferguson, he'd be lucky he didn't walk out of the office with a black eye, not just the end of his contract. And Fergie would burn it in front of the whole press the match day. So he's done. The only reason he's not in the same bracket as Sancho is because of what he did before. But he is done at Manchester United. If he puts that shirt on again, this football club are weak and pathetic.
And this is why I don't like this rule. There's a certain side of this rule now that I don't really agree with, that you can't put players into the reserves or separate them in an effort to kind of facilitate a move. When there's all these other conditions that we just laid out, like as a club, you should be well within your rights to exercise consequences for this kind of stuff. We made you're not allowed back in, man. Go train on your own if that's how you feel. You got money. We pay you money. We're paying you a lot of money. Go hire your own personal trainer. Go find a pitch someplace.
Do you know what we are allowed to do, though, Sean? We are allowed to not register him. We don't have to give him a squad number. We don't have to give him a European number. And we don't have to give him any of that. No, exactly my point. So he doesn't get one. You don't get one, mate. Oh, your Champions League wages. You're not in the Champions League, Marcus. So you don't get Champions League wages. By the way, that all counts.
Can you imagine him trying to ask Cunha for his shirt number back?
No, he gets nothing. The only way I would even give him the time of day, I want him in front of a microphone, not a pre-prepared bollocks statement from Man United or his agent, him on a microphone in front of Carrington, and I want him reading it out himself. I want to see the look on his face. Yeah. And I don't think, no fake tears, because none of us are buying that. But if we see some actual emotion and an apology for the way he talks about this football club, then I'll consider it. Until then, he's dead. He's Jadon Sancho, gone.
And a ban for Henry Winter from pressers from now on.
Oh, yeah, Henry Winter's an absolute elitist knob.
So Ornstein claims that midfield is a priority, but again, the left wing recruitment might not happen if Rashford stays. I don't get that either. It's going to be cheaper to buy a new left winger than it is to keep Rashford
Yeah.
to see out the rest of his contract. Selling him for 30 to 40 million is all profit. Getting his wages off the books is a lot better. All that's going to be cheaper than buying a left winger. Plus, do we really want to spend 300K a week for a rotation option on the left hand side?
No.
I don't really
No, I
want to
don't.
do that.
I don't. And also, I want the harmony in our squad to continue, and that's disharmony written all over it. I'm sorry, it's just no.
There's got to be consequences, right? I think that people just think that they can do what they want, and there's no consequences. And if you I got told no all the time as a kid, and I'm not saying I'm the greatest human being ever, but I didn't throw a fit all the time just because, and I'm used to it. You don't get what you want sometimes. There are consequences. There is accountability. There's responsibility. Rashford's not an 18-year-old anymore. He's 28 years old. It's ridiculous, man. And it's funny too that now, so the last 2 seasons, not in Champions League, all of a sudden now there's a possibility he stays now that his wages are back high because we're in Champions League again.
Take a walk, Marcus. Honestly, no, I'm done with him. I personally would rather have no money from him whatsoever, none, and just cancel his contract ourselves. Just don't say we can't, because we absolutely can. It will cost us money, but it will cost us money keeping him.
Yeah, it's going to cost more money to keep him than it is to just buy a new left winger.
I would have so much respect for Omar Barada if he came out tomorrow on the 1st and went, just got a couple of bits of news. We've got 48 hours. Anybody wants Marcus Rashford, it's this amount. Otherwise, we're cancelling his contract. Done. Finished. Don't walk away. No questions, no answers, no nothing. Just done. Because I tell you what, it's like, I won't say my solution to other worldly problems, but if you show you are not to be with, guess what? People will stop doing it. One of my friends once said, do you think your club's still the greatest football club? In my eyes, it is. He goes, your club's a doormat. And it was made a doormat by the likes of Paul Pogba, Jadon Sancho, and all the other mugs that you've bought and have stood there and made you pay them millions of pounds for talking shit about you.
Let's
stop
Barada,
being that.
That's Woodward, that's Murtaugh, that's
exactly.
These guys, that's Arnold.
But we let players, if we let players dictate to us, we're not Manchester United anymore.
Yeah. And this is
I would rather lose money, cost money. Yeah. I'd rather not buy a player and get rid of Marcus. There you go. I'd rather that. I don't care what anyone says.
The biggest issue and the reason that, and so many fans seem to just conveniently forget. I saw the biggest fan channel, the host of the biggest fan channel, who apparently all he does now is just rage about when he doesn't get what he wants. But he's out here saying just go pay the money for Anderson. It wouldn't have cost much. And I'm like, you're completely ignoring the fact that it's the wage structure that has killed us. It's the wage structure that has seen so many players walk away for free that we're trying to get away from. And yes, it will mean that we will not get some players. There was no way we were going to pay Elliot Anderson $300K a week. That's insane.
No, we've just got rid of 2 players on that. No, thank you.
Yeah, and we can't. That's a reason. No one can buy Marcus Rashford. No one can buy Jadon Sancho, Pogba, Varane, De Gea, Martial. All these players left for free. Literally, all of them just left. Casemiro again.
We were talking about this before, chat, me and Sean. I said exactly the same as to Sean. I said the problem we had with, now I don't think Casemiro was a problem, but we all love him, right? But first season was great, last season was great, middle 2 seasons not so great. But it was the wages. We paid 70 odd million pounds and 350 grand a week to somebody with no value.
Yeah.
Zero value. We've done it over and over and over. Sancho, if Sancho was 70 million and 150 grand a week, he'd have been gone 3 years ago.
Yeah. And both players over the course of their contract.
Overpaying is the wages, not how much a player's so-called price tag.
Over the course of both those contracts, because they both just left for free, we really paid about $300 million total for Casemiro and Sancho's total contract, which again,
got nothing for it.
Yeah, so it'll be the same with Anderson. If you pay £130 million for Anderson, you pay him $300K a week. You're literally paying close to $200 million over the course of that contract for Elliot Anderson.
Yeah,
you're not going to sell him for a whole lot. Now, obviously, the way, like I've said many times, transfer fees don't mean as much because of how prevalent
Monetize it.
amortizing is been
Yeah.
in the last several years. Like, this is why Chelsea will probably make money on Enzo Fernandez, for instance, even though they spent 100 some odd million on him, because they didn't spend 100. You got to stop paying attention to transfer fees, people.
Yeah.
The wages
Which
are really
is-
what's going to kill you, because that's not only that's what you're on the hook for sure, week in, week out, and that's
Absolutely.
oftentimes, as we've just spoken about, is what's going to kill you, because you can't sell players.
Yeah. It's not that those players didn't hold any value. We could have we could have let Casemiro go 2 years ago. Saudi
Yeah.
teams wanted him. It was just, why would he want to leave on 350 grand a week?
Yeah.
So it's the overpaying thing. I like Sean is saying there is a myth. The overpaying was the stupid contracts on stupid wages.
Yeah.
That's why it's overpaying, because you can't overpay for something that can grow in value.
And I agree with Rob Taff here to an extent on the wages thing. He says he disagrees about wages. When do we become Everton? Well, do you think Anthony was worth 200K a week? Do you think we should have signed Jadon Sancho on 300K a week? Like, that's my point. Would you have signed Elliot Anderson to 300K a week? That's my point. It's not that I'm saying no player should be paid 300K a week, but there's a difference between paying someone like I don't know, pick a Holland or something, 300K a week, versus giving that to Jadon Sancho right off the bat. Like, it's or Elliot Anderson for is Elliot Anderson worth 300K a week? No, he's not worth 300K a week. We can't. We're in and you've kind of proven your point. Like, we're not Everton. We shouldn't have to do that in order to get every player to come to the club.
No.
You do pay the better players more money. That's just the way it goes. But you don't bring in someone like Elliot Anderson went from 40, 50K a week at Nottingham Forest to 300K a week at Man City. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's nuts.
No, it's a stupid increase. Certain players that you could say, right, let's use the most experienced, I suppose, top of his game currently that we're linked with in Tchouaméni. If you had to pay him close to 300 grand a week, I still wouldn't like it, but I don't think it's as much of a risk as paying Jadon Sancho 300 grand a week, right? Say, or like Anthony 200 grand a week, or even Elliot Anderson 300 grand a week, because we know what he can produce.
Yeah.
It's a risk that he produces it, but we know what he can produce. So you're buying quality. You're pretty much getting the quality. It's the case of, we've overspent on useless items. We've bought cars with 3 wheels. We've bought, one-wheeled bikes. We've bought planes that can't fly. We have bought anything that doesn't work for too much money. Now, let's use the Mateus Fernandez situation as an example. And I asked Sean this question, and he said, we'll save it for the chat. So I'm going to ask everybody this now. In the chat, all of you, I need an answer. Mateus Fernandez looks like he's going to Spurs for 85 million. Now, we all know, whether it's a new regime or not at Spurs at the moment, he ain't getting more than 200 grand a week. Not a chance, no way. I'll make a bet with anybody that's the case, right? So, is that overpaying? Yes or no? You could debate it. If Man United now go out and panic and spend 90 million on Tonali and pay him way north of 200 grand a week, I will be livid, because Tonali gives us no resale value, much more expensive transfer, much more expensive wages, and I think less potential. That's just my opinion. So you guys tell me, would you be happy if we didn't overpay on Fernandez and we now go and do that with Tonali? Or would you be just as unhappy with the other transfer? Because for me, that's a joke.
Yeah, and that's another big hurdle, is what players are already on, which most players are going to want to get paid a little bit more. Like, if you sign Tchouaméni, who I think is on 250K a week at Madrid, you're going to have to pay him 300K probably. If you sign Tonali, I don't know what Tonali's on, but you're going to have to pay him probably more, which, again, I'm not saying you're going to have to do it because I want him. I'm saying that's just the way it tends to work, which is I don't know what Mateus Fernandez is going to be on at West Ham. I just looked up Sancho. So again, Another example, Sancho was on 61K a week euros at Dortmund.
Mm.
We put him at a base salary at 250K a week when we signed him. Like, that's what I'm talking about, you guys. It's just asinine that we would do that for a player that
Yeah.
we've already chased for a year and spent what 70,
Ma-
80 million on. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. I'm just afraid. I don't think personally, you guys know my opinion. I don't think the 85 million, I think it was priced too high, but I think the player was worth it.
And the problem
And
is, like
that's
I
the,
said before we started, Ian, is that West Ham killed everything because they paid the 38 million all
yep.
at once for him when
Yeah.
they got him from Southampton, which just completely killed it. Like, if they had amortized that like a normal smart club would have done, which they probably paid it up front because it was the only way they could do it at the time to convince him to convince Southampton to sell. But again, that was their baseline. They wanted to make some money. They're going to be doubling their money almost on that, which is an absolutely ridiculous thing.
It's
Like,
insane,
Spurs,
yeah.
if you're happy with like if you're unhappy that Spurs overpaid for Mateus Fernandez, if you're unhappy that Spurs overpaid for Van Hecke by a lot, like they've probably combined overpaid by about 40 million in total transfer fees because they're not going to be able to sell Mateus Fernandez for anything more than that. It's ridiculous, man. Yeah, Danny, I do like Adam Wharton a lot. I think he's very, very good. You guys know that.
I would have much rather had Walton than Fernandez, but if anyone thinks we're getting that for less than 85, you're having a laugh.
Yeah,
No chance.
New managers too. It's always a flip of the coin on a new manager if they're going to want to play or if they want to maybe go ahead and go out with a big sale and build. Just who's the manager at Palace now? I don't know.
He's the ex-Dortmund guy.
Is that?
Is it Rosa?
I thought that was. I think he's at Bournemouth. Marco Rosa. I don't know who the
I
Palace
don't
guy
know
is.
then.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll put in a good word for Wharton.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I would take Adam Walton in a heartbeat, Danny.
Yeah.
I know Sean would as well.
I think he suits the way Carrick plays. Honestly, we don't necessarily need someone who's going to cover a lot of ground and get stuck in. The way Carrick sets us up in that mid block,
we've got that in Edison.
It is, yeah. We have an Ederson, but in the mid block, we do tend to be a little bit more on the back foot, which Wharton is actually very, very good at. The word I've seen used to describe the way he puts in it is economic. Like, it's not just throwing his body around for the sake of it. He anticipates, he's patient, he waits, and then it's usually he wins. Though, like, I put up his possession one numbers, his duel numbers several times. If you've got to learn a little bit more, go check out the video. It's in the description as well on the whole breakdown I did on Adam Wharton.
I think
very,
he's
very
probably
good.
one of the most suited players to the way we want to play. I mean, the pass that you and all of us hate, that bounce pass out and play through the two holding midfielders into a turn and go. Who could you want better? I don't think there's anyone better in the whole Premier League at that than Adam Wharton.
I think the way that Wharton passes the ball so early and so precise. I mean, his key passes are elite.
It suits us down to the ground.
I think Cunha, Bruno, Shesko, and Mbumo would feast on some of the threaded balls that he plays from his own third to the final third. Like,
Absolutely.
Bruno can get on the end of those and link up. Cunha will drift a little centrally, which is right where Wharton tends to, because Palace play with 2 10s, or they have, and that's where he's used to putting the ball, is in that channel. That's exactly where Cunha is going to play. I think that would have been fantastic.
I mean, it just suits us down to the ground. He really, really does.
Just
I
saying,
hope we get
man.
turned to that. I do. You know, we're all big fans here.
And we're going to talk a little bit here about this crazy fees in a second, because I'm a little annoyed. I mean, we might as well. Anybody have any final thoughts on Rashford before we dive into this other nonsense here?
No.
We're good.
No, not on the thoughts, just no. That's my thought. Yeah.
So we're already talking about it. We can move on to everyone's favorite transfer saga, because it looks like the transfer saga is done. If he was your number one target, look away now, because obviously we talked about this. David Ornstein, Spurs paying 85 million guaranteed fee. The numbers beyond where United are willing to go, according to Ornstein, which, like we've been speaking about. Like I said, I told you guys, if you want it, you can't have it both ways. We can't complain about United tax. We can't complain about players leaving for free and all this stuff, but then also demand that we overpay for players or pay them too much. You can't have it both ways. And as a result of that, I said it, and Barada, when he did that interview the other week, kind of hinted at, like, we're not going to get pushed around by agents and players. we are going to miss out on players because of that, and this is another example of that. We didn't get Elliot Anderson. A lot of that probably had to do with the fact that City have been talking to him since like the winter, basically.
Of
And a
course.
lot of players, when they go that far, they're not going to just ditch the club. And then again, we didn't think he was worth 85 million, and that's not what we wanted to commit to, and it is what it is. It's you got
Well,
to
I can
ignore.
tell you, we definitely wouldn't have thought that Anderson was worth 130. So,
No,
what would have been
you,
the
you
point?
you have to ignore the whole "we lost out to Spurs" narrative. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Like I said, they've literally overpaid about 40 million combined for Van Hecke and Fernandes. Honestly,
Mm.
I don't know what you get. Penny for Pochettino's thoughts by right now. By the way,
He must be livid.
that dude didn't
Livid.
get backed at all after getting to a Champions League final, and
Champions
they're
League
out here.
final, they had Harry Kane. Imagine if they had that back in then. You said it.
Yeah,
You,
it's
you made it very clear. It's Daniel Levy. That's the big difference. There's no Daniel Levy anymore. So the purse strings have
yeah,
been completely opened. And I
yeah,
think they've
exactly,
seen what's not happening to City, what's not happening to Chelsea, and
exactly.
thought, do you know what? And also, they're in the position we were a year ago, maybe even worse than we were. Their squad is atrocious. They need to throw money at it. So why not? They're not going to get in trouble for it.
Yeah, and the same with Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp literally said the day we start spending 100 million on a player, I'll walk away. And as soon as he left, they have done this like 3 times
Bang,
now.
bang, bang. Yep.
And I get to an extent, like you pay it, you figure it out. But again, like did anybody like Danny pointed out, and we've talked about a couple times now watching the World Cup, is Yan Diomande worth 100 million euros?
No chance.
No, but that's what literally Liverpool were about to pay. Can you imagine if we had agreed to that before the World Cup started, and then we're watching him at the World Cup? How many United fans would be absolutely
I'd
raging
be
right now?
livid. We would be getting crucified. They'd all
Exactly.
there'd be effigies of Carrick. Get him out. It would be,
Exactly.
I promise you. And also, you made a really good point there, Sean, about Klopp. I will walk if Liverpool sign a player for 100 million. He's pushing Red Bull to get 100 million. It's him doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So don't. He's a waffle talking, hotel selling muppet. Honestly,
With some
banned
bright
in my
ass
house.
teeth, though. He's got some really bright teeth. I'll give him that.
Clivago.
Don't make fun of Norbert. You know his middle name is Norbert. Not if your name is Norbert. I'm sorry, no offense. But yeah, so I can't believe, and I posted this in the WhatsApp group. I put it on X. I can't believe that with the way things are going, and really the way they've been going since Grealish. Why would a Premier League club look at a Premier League player when you've got prices like that? Grealish, 100 million. Declan Rice, Isak, like that was absolutely insane. Elliot Anderson, and then you look at the prices that we're talking about for guys like Alex Scott, guys like Mateus Fernandez, Tonali, Baleba. Remember last summer it was absolutely nuts. Why would you do that when there are guys like Stiller, Sangare, Lamine Kamara,
Awadi.
Smith, Buwadi, Urenchi, Avam, Ulawi, Tanaka at Leeds, Agume, Alan Varela at Porto has a 65 million pound release clause, for instance. Ayari at
Renki,
Brighton,
Manzambi.
yeah.
We could go on.
Ayari is entering the final year of his contract. Sander Berg is out there. Like, why would you go and spend near 100 million on a player like Alex Scott? Is he a better player than Tchouameni? Is he a better player than Mamadou Sangare? After one decent injury-free season at Bournemouth? No, I like Alex Scott. He's not worth what Bournemouth are demanding.
No.
I just don't get why clubs are looking at like this whole Premier League proven thing is what's killing the market. It's just because they've got one good season. Like Anderson last year, not this past year, 2 years ago, I guess you can call it good, right? Not anywhere near what he was this year, but good. So you can almost call it, yes, an upward trajectory, but one very, 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 very good season. And you guys know he was one of my dream signings. Not a 130 million pound player, man.
No. I've seen too many players come into the Premier League. I don't know if you guys remember Michu playing for Swansea. Nearly
Oh,
won
yeah.
the Golden Boot. Was
Remember
so
Michu.
close to winning the Golden Boot. People were talking about him going to Arsenal, Liverpool, everybody. Big clubs, Barcelona. Do you know what? He never scored another Premier League goal.
Yeah.
Because
opportunities.
it's one season washes.
Yeah.
It's just
It's
washed out.
always a roll of the dice, but it's the same with these Premier League proven players as well. You could get You could get an excellent player, but you could also get a Langa or a Visa or something.
Exactly. Yeah. Also, do you notice how Premier League proven seems to only be relevant to Premier League teams?
Yeah,
Right. I'll just an example is all the most expensive transfers in world football are outside of the Premier League. All of them. And any time a big club, Bayern Munich, they bought one player from the Premier League and they got Harry Kane. But let's say Barcelona or more Real Madrid. How many times have Real Madrid gone for Galacticos? Where's Elliot Anderson being linked with Real Madrid? Nope.
yeah.
Where's all these midfielders being linked with Real Madrid? Nope.
Well, they might be
Nope.
getting Enzo Fernandez at some point, and so. But
Yeah, but
they got Bernardo Silva on a free. They got Konate on a free.
yeah, I said Enzo, didn't I? I meant Elliot Anderson. They didn't want Elliot Anderson, did they? They could have
No, you're
competed
right.
with City. Easy. Why do they not want him? They want someone who I personally don't think Enzo Fernandez is any good at all. I wouldn't
Yeah,
pay 40 million for him. Not
that's
at
the
all.
thing, because he's in the Premier League, and because like it's just like I just don't get it, man. There are literal, absolutely gems out there that we get. And I just listed, and those are just off the top of my head. All the midfielders I've listed. It just doesn't make sense to
Broken.
me. I do feel
No.
like Tchouameni's probably going to be the thing. We spoke yesterday about his comments he made recently about getting linked to United. A lot of praise for the club.
He wants it.
I do really feel like that's probably going to be our marquee signing, Tchouameni. But you could
Do you
get
guys
him
have?
and another player like Llorente for just a little more than what you're going to pay for Mateus Fernandes.
Oh,
That's my point.
absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said to you, and it's in the WhatsApp group, if we've got to do an emergency, stretch our budget, make it work, then I'd rather a Llorente or a Gume for 20 and Tchouameni. Or I still said it to you as well. We could go to France with 100 million in our pocket and come back with 3 players.
Yeah, you
So
could absolutely. You could go to Belgium. You could go to the Danish league. You can go German
we-
Bundesliga. You can buy a lot of players for that.
we've
much
just
money.
got players that we've got other teams that are looking, but for some reason our board but they're just I think they're scared of the media or fan reaction if we don't buy a player that's not like
No,
listed in
fan
Forbes
reaction.
top 10 players. It's
It's
this
the fans
stupid.
demanding the big
Yeah.
signings, and the problem again is the fact that these other clubs are doing this. These other I don't get why United fans want to look at teams like City and Chelsea and use them as the comparison. Like they cheat. Why are you just disregard what they're doing? Spurs are overpaying. I'm happy not overpaying for players. You should not have spent 130 million on Mateus Fernandez and Jan-Paul Van Hecke alone.
No,
That's
I agree.
absolutely ridiculous.
But they'll listen to fans when we moan about the quality of this signing and that signing, but they won't listen to us when we moan about the people bleeding the club dry, will they?
Yeah.
So that's selective listening. So don't tell me they can't ignore us now and do what they want. They don't listen to us. They're just scared for some reason of going and buying a player and being criticised that he's not expensive enough, so he doesn't mean he's good enough.
Tomorrow's going to be interesting.
Idiots.
The close of the week's going to be interesting. Obviously, July 1st, opening of the new fiscal year. We can now move into a new financial regulations, a new squad cost ratio compared to PSR now. No more PSR. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens here. I do think, obviously, we're obviously waiting till July 1st to announce Ederson just for international regulations with signings and stuff. It is what it is. I do think we probably will see some business in the next few weeks. We absolutely have to see some business. Not just, and this isn't me saying we need to just keep up. It's me saying we're going to lose some targets if we don't start moving. Chelsea, if they sell Enzo Fernandez, are going to have a midfielder hole in their squad that they need to fill as well. Liverpool, always linked to defensive midfielders as well.
Everton got Hackney today. There's another one of the ones, the cheap ones on our list that's gone.
Yeah. Newcastle,
Sean,
probably going to lose Tonali. They're going to need a midfielder.
They're going to get Kamara for 35 million, and then we'll all be crying after we give them
Forest need
stupid
one.
money for. It's the problem is we're going to announce a player at like 5 past midnight, so like it's a brand new signing we've all known for a month we've had in Ederson. If we haven't got another player before the end of this week, it's a failure. because I don't care. They've been selling us this tale of we're lining it all up, we're doing it all properly, we're checking our targets, we're ticking our boxes, crossing our T's and dotting our I's, ready to take it on. Okay, we're ready. Let's see it. Don't tell me it's going to take 2 weeks to get another deal done. That's what you've been doing for the last 2 months. Or have you been
No,
lying to us?
it'll be
No, that's
it'll be
rubbish.
Mason Mount on a new contract, just like a new signing, right?
Ineos can flush their whole season down the toilet if they don't do it. If they do things like that, they're done. They're finished.
I'd like to see some youngsters get pushed in here as well for depth in midfield. I've mentioned Devaney, Fletcher, Thwaites, Morehouse. I'd like to see all those guys in the domestic cups as well.
That's even more of a guarantee now with our squad lack of squad depth. We're not up. We're down on squad, even though we've signed a player. How can that be?
It's we've been like that for a while though, because the squad is bloated. It has the appearance of not look, but we've got to get rid of a lot of these players just to get it back down to them, and we've gotten rid of a few players. I personally think Rashford will not be here next season. I think
he better not be
to like Villa or somebody in Champions League probably. Villa are probably. Like, if I were Rashford, that team is tailor-made for Marcus Rashford.
He was twerking for Spurs on Sunday, wasn't he?
I mean,
now he's desperate to come home.
They're not in Champions League. I don't get why he would like. He's going to want to play Champions League football, which is why I don't get why Tonali would go to Spurs, because they're not anywhere near Champions League. It's going to be interesting. I just really wanted to make sure that we spoke about the fees, because again, it does my head. And this is, again, you guys know I don't automatically just buy into the Premier League proven thing, because it doesn't. It just depends on the player itself. I do agree, Rob. I think it was that some players, you do pay more. There's a correlation between your wage structure and your success as a team. We are not at a place, though, I think, in this rebuild where we can just go out and throw $300K at 4 signings coming in. Like, we're just not there. We have to be smart right now. What do I always say? You have to build, not buy. Build is with a plan involved. There's a long-term vision. There's patience. There's strategy. Buying is what we've been doing for the last 12, 13 years, which is why we are where we are right now. I would like to get out of that hole.
I absolutely should. I want nothing more than to be out of the financial hole. It was the whole reason I wanted the fake shake instead of the thing. It weren't because we could spend the money. It's just because we wouldn't be in debt anymore. And that would allow us to spend money.
And the debt is just the Glazers. That's the reason the debt is there, is the Glazers. Ineos inherited it, and I've said many times that doesn't mean that they're out of the way scot-free.
Yeah, it doesn't.
You knew what you were getting into when you signed the paperwork and shook the man's hand. Like, you need to have a plan for that. Yeah,
don't make out you stole from Peter to give to Paul now, mate, because you didn't. What I want to say on this one other thing on the fees, it's killing this game. Obvious now, proven today, agents like George Mendes are purely despicable vipers. They care more about their bottom line. I don't care if he's the best or anything. I couldn't care if he's the best at building Lego. He's irrelevant. He is a money-grabbing scumbag that cares more about his bottom line.
There are some that are lovely people. Looking at you, James Featherstone.
Yeah,
we love you, buddy.
James is acceptable, but we don't.
Friend
like
of the channel. Friend of the channel.
But generally, but I'm sure James may have a soul, so he might actually consider his clients' wishes over his bottom line. But Mateus Fernandes is obviously a gutless, spineless little robot and just does whatever George Mendes says. So he's ruined his career. See you in the Championship next year, mate. Goodbye.
I worry about him though. If Spurs, if they just don't find their luck this season and the luck runs out and they actually get relegated, I worry about his mentality, his health, his mental
whole thing
health.
will collapse.
If he's got 3 relegations on him, I worry about Mateus.
He has to leave. He's done in the Premier League. He's done as a Premier League player. Then
go back to Sporting or something.
Yeah, it's destroying this game. And but the problem is, it's what Rob is kind of alluding to, and we all know it. Principles are fantastic, but they're not reality. In reality, in the world we live in, unfortunately, even worse a world we live in today, the almighty dollar counts over everything. And it don't matter who you are with your principles, you can stand there, but do you know what? At the end of the day, you'll be standing there alone on your own, right? Because you will always come last if you think you're going to outdo everybody with principle, because there'll always, always, always be some other idiot out there willing to pay a bit more, and money talks and principles walk. I am all for United not being mugged off. You know what? You know my thoughts on Rashford. I'd rather spend money to get him out than have him back. But I agree with Rob in if we don't notice the right opportunity to overspend, and I'm not saying overspend, that's just a stupid media term, just the right money for the right player. I don't care what the value is. Like Sean said, you monetize it over too long a period. Yeah. He's 21 years old. If he goes on to absolutely smash it for Tottenham, we're going to look like mugs. If he goes on to do a Caicedo like he did like a Brighton for Tottenham, we're going to look like dicks. Especially if anyone we sign instead fails, we're going to look even worse.
We sign better blow everyone out of the water.
Yeah, I swear. I said to him, I swear if it's Tonali, I'm done. United are done. They're finished. I know Rob loves him. I ain't saying he's a bad player, right? He's not a bad footballer, but I don't want him. I don't want Sander Berg, but I'd rather pay. We're not paying anywhere near that money. If we pay more money for a player that isn't as good as Mateus Fernandes on more wages, I'll be livid. Because it's just stupid. We're cutting off our nose to spite her face.
So not helping us. I put this in a comment. Somebody responded put a comment on a video the other week, and I responded to them. So where's the line? Like, where's the line between being ambitious and, like we're talking about, maybe overpaying or spending stupid? Like, where is the line? Does it just depend on the player? Like, and because again, even if you say it depends on the player, everyone is going to have a different opinion on that player. So again, there's got to be a universal kind of unbiased, objective line there, right?
Yeah, of course there is. If you're looking at trying to sign a Robert Lewandowski and they go, right, you're 36, you might be one of the greatest nines in the last 2 decades, but you're not worth any money and we're not giving you more than 50 grand a week because you'll barely play. If you're going to sign Lamine Yamal, you're going, right, well, you're the best teenager on the face of this earth. Yeah. You're in a couple of years' time, you could be worth, the way figures are going in football, he could be worth 250, 300 million. Right? So you go, right, well, what do you want? We want 200 million and 500 grand a week. Done. Because it doesn't matter, because that kid's going to be worth 1,000 times that over a 6-year contract to you. Do you remember when we sold Cristiano Ronaldo, when he won the Ballon d'Or? Did you see that thing that United put out? We made £85 million in 1 year from Cristiano Ronaldo shirts alone on a global scale. So that paid just his shirt, nothing else, sold that much. So if you bought a Lamau for that, who cares if you're giving him £500,000 a week? Who cares?
Yeah, the shirt sales is a weird thing.
The line.
Very rarely does the shirt sales even ever actually make a club money. It's very rare. You have to, like, Ronaldo actually, when he came back 5 years ago, he actually paid him for himself basically in shirt sales. That never happens. Like, shirt sales is a myth.
I know. I'm using that as an over the top example, but it's the line you've got to draw. I mean, what are Chelsea taking the piss? A year ago, Sunderland paid £32 million to buy a Leverkusen for Granit Xhaka. Chelsea are trying to buy him for £8 million.
Yeah.
Why? What? That's ludicrous. That's just not even joined up thinking. That's stupid.
I think the only real value, because you can't look at transfer value like on Transfer Market.
In the eye of the beholder.
And that's my point. The value is, what is the data? What is the player profile? What is that value to you as a club? Yeah. The way you play, the profile you're looking for, the character, all of that. How much is that player worth to you with what he brings to the table? And that is what I am willing to cross a little bit of a line for in some cases, and not in others. I was less willing to cross the line with Mateus Fernandes because I know you can literally go get Mamadou Sangare for less than that, for almost half of that. So I was like, there's no need to go do it. Unless the data somehow showed you, like, which I don't know how it would show you that, he plays in the Premier League, so he's automatically going to be better. I just don't buy into it personally. No,
I'm sorry, no. And we're not talking Sangare was playing for the team that got relegated. They came second. to
Yeah,
the
and he was a
European
major part in
champions.
that. Where were they before he arrived?
Nowhere.
Ex- like it's very rare that lawns are
Yeah.
up there that high. Like they were
Yeah.
doing very, very well.
Well, you can tell the quality of a player when he can almost single-handedly lift the entire team on his
Yeah,
back. That shows he's got quality. It doesn't matter he's going to move 500 miles north.
yeah.
It ain't going to
Now
change his quality.
there are some players who you just there's no other maybe equivalent out there, and those are the players that you do go ahead and pay a little bit more for, in my opinion.
Yes.
Those are the
Yes.
ones like if there I can't think of one off the literally the top of my head, but you just go and get a player like that because there's nothing else out there like that. Like if you're looking
Yeah.
at like left backs right now, how many other left backs out there that maybe are doing what Lewis Hall has been doing in the Premier League? I still
Yeah.
don't
We're
think Lewis
talking
Hall is
Nuno
worth 70
Menge
million, but
level.
I'm not going to, yeah, and Nuno Mendes is going to cost you 100 million.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If you're looking PSG, you want to measure fullbacks, you measure them against the two PSG ones.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
And
Like I'm
that's it.
so like Rob, I'm willing to spend more when what the player is based on comparisons is just like Tchouaméni is probably up there. I don't like the injuries, but he's definitely up there for me in terms of because Tchouaméni brings the X factor that you're not going to get with hardly any of these other players. Is that he has
None of
played
them.
at one of the biggest clubs in the world.
World Cup winning, Champions League winning,
Yeah,
multi-league winning. He has been there, done it, got the t-shirt. He's Casemiro, but 7 years younger. Let's just
yeah,
end there.
because that's the factor that is you can't measure like
No.
how heavy is that shirt going to weigh on new signings. We've seen many players come and kind of shrink under the media scrutiny, under the standards in the dressing room. This like I think Tchouaméni is like Casemiro is and up until the Valverde incident, I'll say, but
Yeah.
I think that he is one. Again, I don't like his injuries. If he could stay injury free, that could be that could win the transfer window. Literally that signing.
There isn't a team that signed a better player in the league than that. No.
Yeah, I
He
think
he brings absolutely everything we could possibly want in a player, and like you're saying, he's the level where that line would go right. We don't really want to pay 300 grand a week, but when you go for he's got this, he's got this, he's got this, he's got this, you go right. Well, we could get this guy same money, but 100 grand a week less. But he's got none of those things, and might not ever be anywhere near as good. You've got if we want to be a club that are competing for the Champions League and getting our title back off, you know who, right? We have to think bigger, and I don't mean spend more. I mean think bigger. The long term, you have big spend for long term gain.
yeah,
And I've said it and said it and said it. And my granddad used to say this into me like when we were little. You buy cheap, son. You buy twice.
yeah.
And Man United are the poster child for this. So just please, I don't care about Mateus Fernandes. He wants to ruin his career. Let him do it. But if we go worse and more money, I'm going to lose my with these. They're done as a foot. They're done. They're all goodwill they built up last year is done.
Yeah.
All the talk of we can do this and you want Man United and we're ready for opportunity, rubbish. And talk about market opportunity. If Harry Kane is thinking about leaving Bayern Munich, what are we doing?
Yeah. Snatch that
What
up real quick.
are we doing? We missed it once. Don't do it
what
again.
I mean. That's what I mean when I say there are players unparalleled right now that you maybe.
I'd give Harry Kane 300 grand a week in a 2-year deal right now. Done. Thank you. Bye.
Those are the kind of opportunities that you want to be flexible with. You want to be able to if we had bought 4 players and then all of a sudden Harry Kane becomes available and we're like, oh shit, you want to have some money lying around. I want to talk about Rob Taft's comment here because he's not too happy. He says spend the money. It's not our bank account. Well, that's an excuse I've heard a lot from a lot of fans. And it's not my bank account. It's not mom the one spending it. But your money is finite. You can't just keep taking money out. Like we've got a certain amount of money. So yes, we spend every extra 5-10 million we spend on one player, whether that's wages or initial payment or what, is 5 or 10 million less we have to spend a little later on. And so it's not just as simple as that. And you said you don't remember Cantona getting signed and having an opinion. Cantona was not a rebuild signing. Cantona was a cherry on the top of the cake signing that took us from a build to now we've got the last piece of this puzzle that is going to kind of gel everything together and
That's what
like
City are
raise the
doing with
level.
Anderson, isn't it?
Yes, City are at a point now, 13 years into a whole project, their whole club's existence almost, where they're at a place now because they've just spent and spent and spent. They lose one player, they'll just get another one. Arsenal are starting to get to that place too. Like we are not at a place where we can just go and spend 130 million and take it up to 200 million for Elliot Anderson when we've got all this other stuff we've got to do right now. It's
Yeah.
just trying
Oh,
to get us.
talking about the Nunes, they are really going to spend. There you go. There's another one. Villa want what? 130 million for Rodgers. Well done, Villa.
Yeah,
Well done.
yeah. It's not.
130 million for a Middlesbrough player 2 years ago.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's not gonna happen. We've got a lot to do. I think we can get a lot if we can get some players off the books and we can be really smart with the money. I think we can have some room later on to get in the window if there's an unexpected opportunity. Like I would absolutely go for Harry Kane. I think that Harry Kane on a 2 year deal would be you come back and break Alan Shearer's record.
Oh, absolutely.
Just go
Absolutely.
ahead and do it,
We'll do
man.
what Alan Shearer should have done and sign for us.
Yeah,
But you know,
I
when you're
never
talking
understood why he
about.
left to go to Bayern. Yeah, you're going to win trophies,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I just don't think Levy wanted to deal with us. He didn't want to sell Harry Kane to us. I think the Spurs fans would have lynched him.
yeah,
I generally do. I think Kane wanted to come to us, but it would have caused bad problems. But you talked about like when players think. Yeah, my only worry about Tchouaméni, aside from injuries, if we put all that to one side, is at this current moment he's not for sale. He's not going to come out and go, I want to say, I want to go, I want to go. He's only going to leave if Jose says you can go. And
yeah,
that's only if they can get 100 million plus deal done with the scumbags that are Chelsea, right? That is going to take nearly the entire window.
yeah.
I also don't think we can really afford to put all of our eggs in a last minute basket that may not come as for sale.
No, and I don't think we
So,
will because I don't think Ineos do that because that's something that Woodward would do. We saw that with Anthony. We saw that with Maguire as well. I don't think it's something that Ineos would do. Clearly, like we'll try to negotiate. I think for a little while, but if it's clear that it's just not going to happen, I think we're
yeah.
just going to move on very very quickly.
Oh, I hope so. I do hope so. I don't want a saga. I don't want another Frankie de Jong.
No,
This one's already gone on far too long. I'm glad it's over, to be honest. The other thing is, if we got a sign that Tchouaméni was doable, but we're going to have to wait till the end of the window, but it definitely would happen, I'd wait. But if it's any longer than another 10 days before Chelsea have agreed to sell Real Madrid, that player, we got to walk away. We have to walk away. We haven't got the time because by this time, Bazamana Toure will be at Brentford, Lamine Kamara will be at Newcastle, and somebody will definitely be looking at Sangare. I'm telling you now. So please, Man United, do something before all the good players are gone, or you're going to have to overspend, which you didn't want to do, and then you'll look like
yeah,
right melts.
and I've
Because
been
if we
very very
overspend at the end of the
critical.
window, Sean, and we haven't done it now, I'm going to go absolutely livid. I might even go, they ain't getting my money next year.
And you
Shove
guys
it.
have, if you've been following the channel for a while, you know that I am very critical of Ineos. I think they're incompetent. I'm very, very critical of how slowly that they move this whole we don't want to run to the wrong decision thing does my head in because you can also run to the right decision if the right decision's there, especially when there's other people running towards that same decision. You want to be the first one there. It's just embarrassing, I think.
It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace on the name of this football club. It's
Like
a
I get,
disgrace on the end of season that they gave us all this hope
yeah,
that we were back in the Champions League. We're back with Michael Carrick in charge. We're back looking good. If they throw all that away, they are the stupidest rich people I've ever heard of. Because you can't buy that kind of free publicity that Michael Carrick got them at the end of last season. They
no,
throw that away, they are deluded.
he
They might spend,
deserves to be backed.
yeah, because
And
you ruin
quickly.
it this time. 500 million won't save you.
Yeah,
So
and that's the
forget
thing.
it.
Like, I get the whole debt and the shambles that our whole transfer policy has been since Sir Alex and David Gill retired. Like, I get that Ineos have to make, but again, I've said this many times. Football is one of those businesses that's success is not measured in pluses and minuses on a spreadsheet. It's measured in trophies and wins, which sometimes does mean you're not going to
Yep.
make money. Like it's not measured in profits and losses, right? It's measured in wins and losses. Like that's just the way football works.
Yeah. But
And
also on the flip side of that, Sean, the more wins, the more money. The
exactly,
more wins, the more prestige, the more competitions, the more money,
exactly.
the more money, the more money.
The more TV
One
money now.
hand,
Granted, now United. Now the reason that Glazers have gotten away with it for so long is because we are Man United. Because we don't have to cheat like City and Chelsea do to get some sort of hollow prestige. Our prestige has been here for over 100 years. They inherited it and they did nothing to deserve it
we
and earn
generate
it.
our
So
own wealth.
yes,
That's the
exactly.
difference.
We don't have to. We get TV money because we do. One of the fixtures is moved for the Boxing Day fixture, it's always going to be ours because they're going to get more people watching United when it's the only game on than they are of NXT. I think that's just the way it
Yeah.
works.
Do you remember when Rangers were relegated for their financial fist things? They still received Scottish
Yeah,
Premier League TV money and were still on as many times that year as Celtic
yeah.
because otherwise nobody would watch it.
Do you know how many Paramount Plus subscribers there would be if had ever gotten relegated? Like right now, like everybody would literally go. Paramount would just like their streaming service would black out. They'd have too many people using it, and that's the kind
Right.
of prestige we get. But at the same time, the expectation too as owners is to maintain that. If we're going to put that expectation on the players and on the coach, the owners have to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Back Carrick, he overachieved. There's no doubt, but we absolutely massively overachieved. But at the same time, he still achieved. Like you have,
Now we've but now if even if they weren't planning for this bigger, like you said, the bigger achievement in the first season, and they were thinking this may be another 2 years down the line, well, we've achieved it now. You've skipped forward. You've missed a snake and you've gone on a ladder. You've gone up quicker than we thought we would. Well, okay. Well, then we move our plan forward by a year and we spend double.
yeah.
Right. This financial, like you've said many times, Sean, FFP as of tomorrow is gone. We
Yep.
all know it's paper thin. It might as well be a chocolate fireguard for how much authority it has. Man City are just flaunting it like it's
And it's not
confetti at a wedding.
85% of our revenue. Like
No.
it'd be 85% if we were not in Europe. UEFA has a different PSR. UEFA's is 70%, so we have to
Yeah.
comply with 70%.
But that's still not difficult for us.
No, it's
We can
not.
still easily operate. But the problem is do our club have the kahunas to do it? And if we want to be Manchester United that we used to be, right, they're going to have to, because this is, as far as I'm concerned, the last chance. I don't want to hear another rebuild in 18 months. But
Not
if
wanting
they
to
don't
over,
back if they
not
don't back
wanting to
Carrick, I would walk.
Yeah. Not
I
wanting
would
to overspend
walk.
is and like not wanting to get pushed around in the market is
Very
only
different.
one side of that coin.
Of
The
course.
other side is like we've just listed off the top of my head 10, 12 hidden gems. Like be ambitious use your recruitment, use Vavell, use these
Well,
guys who have these like Vavell has literally been following Sangari for like 6, 7, 8 years since
yeah.
he was in Africa at the
He,
academy out there.
he's
Go
another
be
one.
ambitious.
He's another one. I completely agree. If I was Christopher Vavell, I'd be screaming, "You listen to me, or I'm gone."
Yes.
Because
Why bring him in?
come out. I don't care what Man United. Don't pay me my compensation. Send me a lawsuit, you little muppets. I would go
He could go
straight
anywhere
out,
you
make an
want.
interview, and go. They didn't want me. Every time I was not listened to, not listened to, not listened to, not listened to, and I'd walk if I was Carrick.
Yeah.
I think it's a disgrace. And if they think they get away with it, next year at Old Trafford will be hell on earth for them.
Like
So
we'll see what happens. I do think that we've got guys like Sansoni, we've got Vavell. I think we're probably going to see some Aiden Heaven like signings. Like we've got Orozco in here. I don't, like Danny mentioned, I don't count Orozco as a first team signing. He's not. And
no,
like someone else mentioned, I wouldn't even consider a backup keeper on a free as a signing. Like there's like no need for that. We need
no,
another marquee midfielder, someone who is ready to drop right into the starting 11, who complements Kobe Mainu, who's played at the top level, ticks those boxes as well. And I would like another playmaker from deep, someone who can get that ball from our third into the final third with like someone like a Wharton or someone who can pick a pass like that would be amazing. They don't have to be older. You can get like a Keith Smith or somebody like that who's younger who
Yeah.
can rotate with Covey. But those two profiles on top of Ederson and Covey, I think, are definitely needed. I would
Most
like
definitely.
a left back. I would like a new striker as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how
I
much is
don't
gonna
think we're
happen,
going to
though.
get. I almost don't think we're going to get any of those apart from the midfield. I'm starting to really. I'm not like you said before. I'm not at full panic mode yet. But if we haven't got anything seriously like days away by the end of this week, I am really going to start losing it because
We
this is.
can't.
It's just not good enough.
We can't go into next season with Rashford and Xerxes and like we just can't. Like
No,
we absolutely just
no,
can't.
no. Oh, and do you know what? I know what they said about like United and this new way of doing it, and we're going to do this and we're going to do it our way. United only like a one horse race. If it's a two horse race, we might as well quit because we never win. We never win because other teams are willing to try harder than us. I don't care what anyone says that's overspending. It ain't. They're just trying harder. They're prepared to try harder. They're prepared to take a risk to try harder. And I think that's failure from a club that wants to try and act like the biggest club in the land.
It worked for us last
Because
summer. This summer, so far, the teams that have beaten us have been teams like City
well,
and Spurs
yeah,
who are gonna offer what a club is asking, and we're just drawing a hard line between what we
yeah,
think a player is worth and what the club is asking, and I just don't
exactly.
know if
Well,
that's we are gonna
it's
miss
not good.
out.
We are definitely going to miss out on some. You're right, but there are others out there.
Yeah, there
We
are.
haven't yet missed out on someone that I think we couldn't get someone that's equally as good or better.
Yeah,
So that I'm still going to give them a bit of time. But if they fail on the ability on rebuilding this squad, it's just it's unforgivable. It's the
yeah.
worst thing since the Glazers bought this football club. I'll tell you
We'll
that
see.
now.
I do think that we will see some movement between tomorrow and definitely over the weekend.
Hundred
I
percent.
think that we'll see. Obviously, Ederson will probably something will happen there. We'll see what happens with that one. I think in the next couple of weeks could be very interesting. If not, we can have a discussion about this because you guys know my biggest caveat going into this summer, as it is with going into every summer, is get your main business done early so these players can come get a preseason.
That myth was sold to us at the end of last season as well, wasn't it?
It's all
And
my demand. It's all I demand. It's not that hard. These players need a
we could have
preseason.
had
It just is
Fernandez,
what
but
it is.
he's now not. We weren't going to get. We were going to get Lewis Hall, but we're now not. I'll tell you what, I will be annoyed with. If we come out in the next couple of days and we've got Somerville. If West Ham, if we buy Somerville off West Ham for 50 million and we walked away from Fernandez, I would have told West Ham to shove their
Yeah,
Somerville right up their Somerville. Yeah,
yeah. It's gonna be interesting. Like I said, there's a lot of teams who are gonna be looking at
type of thing.
midfielders.
Exactly the type of thing United would do, though. Don't be surprised if it happens. It wouldn't surprise me.
Ian, you're starting to put off a little bit of a frustrated vibe, buddy. You all right?
Yeah. No, I don't like it when I can't stand the banter. People, I just want to
Oh, you just gotta ignore it.
people. Oh yeah, no, that I can take. It's not that. It's a case of when I can see what's coming. I'm not clairvoyant, but I can tell you now. I've been long enough in this game that I can tell you it's not going to get better. It's now only going to get worse. I feel
All I
really,
can look
really
at,
bad about that.
all I can gauge Ineos by is what we saw last summer. It was their first proper summer involved, and so that's all I can go on. And that is the standard that I think. I guess not the standard. That's the foundation that they've got to build on. They have to do better than what they did last summer, and so
Yeah.
far they haven't got any. I mean, we got Ederson, so they got the first signing we did early on last summer was a Brazilian. We did the same this summer.
Yeah.
Let's see. Like they've got like we can't make it take so long like we did last summer. Last summer we waited too
No.
long to get the rest of our business done.
No, which was crazy because we basically had Cunha wrapped up from January. He'd signed a new contract, which was just to last till the end of the season. We all knew we had him. No competition. There was fake competition for him, Boomu, but he came out and literally said, "I only want United." So Brentford was stuck. We had no one looking to try and get Lemens, and Newcastle could not compete with us for Sesko. So there you go. That's how United won all those battles.
Well,
We
Shesko's
wanted-
agent took a pay, like didn't get as much money because Shesko wanted to go to United, and
Yeah.
Shesko's agent was willing to make that happen. That's what I would have wanted to see from from Mateus
Fernandez.
Fernandez, but then I have to, like you said earlier, I have to keep reminding myself who his agent is, and his agent is the best agent for a reason because that's what he just plays those kind of games.
Mm.
That's what these agents do. I mean, that's why he works with Ronaldo and what. I'm not saying I like it. I'm just saying that's what
Uh,
the agents do. They get these. I mean,
mm.
loves George Mendes. They bought him an island for a wedding gift when George Mendes
Yeah.
got married. It's absolutely nuts.
There should be so many more rules. You can just know that George Mendes is the type of person that when he got Mateus Fernandez at probably 16 or 17 on a contract, he probably signed it in blood, gave him a
Yeah.
load of money so that he felt like a millionaire as a kid and was like, I own you for the rest of your life now. It's like selling your
And that,
soul to a crossroads demon.
And
You're
that's why
done.
I've said so many times is you got to have good people around you because you can get led down these kind of paths sometimes as a player where, the client like the agent is like, well, this is going to get you the more money or in this like,
Mm.
and if that's I think it is what it is. I think that the fans who bash players for wanting the payday are being dirt. They need to look in the mirror sometimes and ask themselves if they wouldn't want
You
the more
can't do
money. Like
that. Yeah. If someone
everyone's
offered me,
going
if
to take
someone,
money.
I want United, but if I was 20 grand a week at United or someone was offering me 150 million to play somewhere else, see ya. I don't,
Yeah,
yeah, I might love my club, I might bleed it, but money is what makes the world go round. And I'm sorry
yeah.
whether you like that or not, that's reality. The sooner you
Yeah, I
wake up
think
to it, the
like
better.
you said, there needs to be more rules, and but that's the thing, there aren't, and so the only thing that you can try to do is what we are trying to do, and not like get taken, not
The only
overpay,
way
not
it's
let
going
the
to
agents
work,
do it.
yeah, the only way it's going to work for us, Sean, is if the people who make the rules crack down on the cheaters. Because if
Yeah,
they don't, then our stance might as well be a chocolate fire guard.
yeah, it's
We're
embarrassing,
we're
man.
we're,
I
we're
can't
done.
believe City can like if City get found guilty, they should not, in my opinion, should not be allowed to register anybody they sign this summer.
Yeah, I'll
It's
bet
just
you that don't
embarrassing,
happen.
dude. It happened with Barcelona, like, and that
Yeah,
there's
mm,
precedent in sport. Like they signed Arda Turan, they got
they
found, they
got
got
weird rules
punished.
over there, though, haven't
They
they?
weren't allowed. But I'm saying it happens. Like there's a
Oh yeah,
precedent
no,
in sport. So
I would totally agree with you. I'd make them leave. I'd say you can't. Yeah, you
no,
can't
no,
register
I just
this. You
say
can't
you
register
stuck
that.
there. You just can't play. Like that's just the way.
Yeah.
Like they can't register. You're done now. But it is what it is, man. I know we had a nice little vent session here. It's fine. I know I come across sometimes like a Glazer or an Ineos puppet or naive. I'm not. It's the channel. You guys know
You
I'm
you
not
have
going to
to
come
be
out here and
balanced, Sean, when you do
I
this.
have to be, as the host, I do have to be objective. I
Yeah,
don't
I
shy
don't.
away from giving my opinions, right? I don't think my opinions are objective. I think that I try to, I guess I'm not trying to be
No,
objective. I try to add all the context to it. I try to include all the ways of looking at a situation as well. So if you're wanting someone who's just going to come on and whine and rage because they don't get what they want, there are other big channels you can go do that with.
yeah,
I am what I am, as Popeye said. So,
go and look in the mirror.
like,
It's just I get angry. I get very frustrated
I
because I'm
do
very
too.
passionate about my. I know. Oh, see, yeah, this is the other thing. You guys only see the Sean on here. You don't always get the Sean that we get in the WhatsApp group. And he comes out with. It's not always like this, and I think I speak for everyone in the community, mate. When I think you do quite well sometimes, because as you can tell now, I couldn't hold my breath all on some of the things. I can't. I can give praise where praise is due, right? And
Maybe it's
it's a valid way, but I don't think you portray a good and bad side. You don't say this is my opinion, the rest of it's rubbish. You give everything a fair shout, and
I
that's the
just
only
try
thing
to
you
have
can do.
context because I feel like there's a lot of opinions and rage going on where there's just little context, and I don't feel like a lot of channels give the context.
No, yeah, no,
It's probably
yeah.
has a lot to do with the fact that I'm a therapist, so I am very used
Well, you've got a
to
balanced
choosing my
opinion, haven't you?
words very, very
Yeah.
carefully, and trying to just make sure that there's maybe it's just when you work for clients for so long on how to manage emotions and not let the emotions choose the
Mm,
words or the behavior for you. You do pick up on a lot of that alone. So I am a little bit more, but
but yeah, I
it
get
is
you.
what it is.
I
Just
get
don't
you.
kick the cack. Zuma.
Kurt for two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's it. I just hope we're not going down a very, very dark path with this
and that's
league.
all we can
And
do is hope. And all I can speculate in this. Literally, all you can go on in life with these situations is the information you already have. And so far, the information I have is based on last summer. Like that's all I can go on.
Oh yeah.
I don't like to lump them in with Woodward and whatnot because they weren't in charge when all these crazy contracts were there. I get it. I don't like how slow Ineos move. I don't like how hesitant they are. But at the same time, I look at someone like Vavel and I'd like listen to this guy. Just listen to him, please.
Yeah. Why do we make such a song and dance of getting him? And we made such a big thing as well about how this new data guy for Mercedes and how he was going to revolutionise this window. Well, I'm telling you now, that better start tomorrow.
Like, how many are they? Like carpenters who are just like measuring everything 8 times before they cut once? Like, just go and do it.
I imagine. Yeah, this is it. What are they doing the first time though? This isn't like the first time they launched a man into space, right? Yeah. Okay, when you've got to check and triple check and triple check that everything's okay, because once that guy's up there, you can do all about it. This is buying a footballer from another football club. I'm sorry, ain't that difficult.
Do you think there's a little bit of an over analysis, like a little bit of an analysis paralysis?
Massively. Also, we've how many? I want to know. Is there one person that makes the final decision? So, like Sir Jim, one person, or have we got 20 cooks?
It's probably Wilcox that makes the final decision. I think everybody gets an input. I don't think anything is just done without like the manager's input. Like if they bring a player in Carrick's like, I can't stand this player. Like, I don't think they're just going to be like, too bad, deal with it. But I do think that Wilcox is ultimately going to be the one that's he's in charge, basically.
You know what they say, if you've got like too many chefs would spoil the broth, right? Yeah. If you, when we go to one of these meetings that they have you got 5, 10, 15, 20 people? So say you've got 20 people, and if 10 of them want one player, 5 of them want another player, 1 of them doesn't have an opinion, and 4 of them want someone else, do the 10 win? Or does no player get picked because it has to be unanimous? We can't have a structure like that, because that's what you say. That's over-analysis for the sake of analysis.
Yeah, I think sometimes I wonder if they're just so worried about making the right decision.
That's 100% it, Sean.
They're so hesitant to even do it. I mean, to an extent, I get that. Like, if you're buying a house, like, you don't just buy the first one. You see, even if it's like, but then again, there is a line where eventually you do have to make a decision, and a nice house might pop up after you sign the paper, but at the same time, you have to really love the house you have. You have to really put your mind into that. Like,
can't have
there's
FOMO.
There's always going to be players. There's always going to be new players, hidden gems. That's just part of it. Yeah. But that's why you have the data team. That's why you have guys like Vavel. Yeah. That's why you have guys like that in the side. Like,
you have to trust them. Yeah, you got to. Otherwise, there's no point in having them. Jim's talking about best in class. It doesn't just mean on the football pitch. He means the operating team behind the scenes. Yeah. Well, best in class would get the job done.
Yeah.
So let's see it. Okay, I'll give them 7 days, and then we'll revisit this. Everybody, you need one of them clocks, Sean, like in 24. Tick, tick.
But like Danny says, they've had a year to prepare for this. Like,
exactly.
Where were I think, like, I worry it feels a little bit like we waited until June to really kick these conversations into high gear, which I cannot stand at all.
Yeah, if we have, I'm going to be very angry. That's what I'm saying. I bought into last month's excuse about we're going to spend when the new financial year, and I can actually see the legitimacy in that. But like you say, and like Danny said, if they haven't got all their eggs in a row for tomorrow, and they're ready to literally execute 4 deals like that, then they've failed.
You can get the deals locked in without having to spend, because like anything we spend up until today counts on last year's accounts, but you can get the deals finalized. You think City have written a check already for Ellie Anderson? No, they just got the deal finalized, and they'll write the check tomorrow when they can. Like, it doesn't.
Well, he's got to have another part of a medical, hasn't he? But you're right. What Sean is saying,
like, they don't have to. That's because you do it now. Like, it doesn't have to. You don't, like you said, we got Cunha pretty much locked in. Ederson's been locked in. We just can't really finalize it until then. It's just the way it works. So a lot of the deals don't get finalized till after the window closes. They just get finalized like in principle. Like, the checks aren't signed until after that usually.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I say, like, PSG are now have pretty much announced on their website the signing of Diamondi, but he ain't done anything yet. There ain't no medical, no fees, no nothing exchanged.
How many wingers do they need at that club, man?
Do you know they're getting Alakouche as well?
Akliouche, They need to sell. They'll probably sell Kanjin Lee. They sold
They're going to
Gonzalo
sell
Ramos.
Barcola. They're going to sell
Yeah,
Barcola. I can't believe they're going to buy Alakish, who's all he is pace and hair. He's a French version of
I like
Adeyemi, who plays for
I like
Dortmund.
Akliush. I did a scouting report on him a long time
What, over
ago.
Barcola?
Oh, I don't. They're not exactly the same. I know Akliush he plays. He's more like a Cunha type, where he used to be a 10. He can play as an 8 as well. They do play him wide now, but he's a little bit more of a 10. He's kind of like a Gibbs White or a Rogers type, where he's not necessarily a
I'll give you
winger,
that.
but
He's not a
they'll
winger.
play
Winger.
him
Yeah.
wide. Yeah.
He's a winger because of his pace and his shot,
Yeah.
and that's really it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Akliush a lot. There's some good players. Stroikens I like a lot at Anderlecht. I think he's a really good player as well. Some good players out there. But all right, I promise you guys I would let you out in time to go watch this France-Sweden game. I've got 15 minutes till kickoff, so I want to make sure.
Viva la France!
So it would be hilarious if France got knocked out. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, can we have if we had another penalty shootout? If we had another penalty shootout, who do we most want to miss? I think it's just Mbappe, because it's just when he misses, he just looks so gutted.
See, I'm like, yeah. I'm trying to think. We don't have any players in the France squad, so it doesn't really matter to me.
Nah, who do I dislike though? I'd like Rabiot to miss just because I think he's whack.
I want Portugal out of the World Cup. I want everybody. Brazil.
Oh, yeah,
I
I want
want
all
to
your
get
United
knocked
players
out.
back.
Yeah, I want them
Yeah,
all back
yes,
to
please.
Carrington like next week. So.
Oh, no, but we're talking about penalties. Another thing, laughing at Van Dickless, as we always like to do on this channel. The gutless little coward not taking a penalty. Was it me, or did it look like the Dutch were rolling out? I thought Johan Cruyff was coming out next.
I thought Van Nistelrooy was going to come up and take one.
When Weghorst stepped up to take a penalty, I didn't even know he still played football.
Yeah, he was at Besiktas, I thought. I can't remember now.
I was waiting for Mark Van Bommel to come out. Clarence.
Van Nistelrooy's
Edgar.
on the bench. He could have just
I
came
saw
out and
that.
done something.
Yeah.
I actually my first trip to Old Trafford, I actually witnessed a rare Weghorst goal at Old Trafford against Real Betis in the Europa League. So I got that souvenir.
There you go. Yeah, that's a one-off. It was just moments in that, But yeah, an absolutely gutless little scouse coward.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
I can't stand him. Yeah. It's weird. It's his last World Cup. Like, just go take the pen. You could have decided that for your club. I just don't get it.
Do you know who the best penalty was yesterday? He's the only touch he took in the whole game. You see, the Paraguay, what's his name? Baliba, but he used to play for West Ham. The defender, Baliba, he came on for Paraguay in the last 2 minutes of the game. He didn't actually touch the ball. His only touch in the whole game was kicking in the penalty.
Nice.
It's the first time he touched the ball. I was like, please let that. One touch, one goal, one win.
That's a memory for him forever.
Yeah.
Nice.
He put Paraguay through, knocked Germany out with one touch.
Like it. Put that on the trophy.
Oh, as we're thinking funny things, did you hear about the Uruguay Football Federation cancelling the team's ride home? They had to find their own way.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was a joke. I looked it up. It was actually true. Players were seen in the hotel booking their own flights.
This World Cup's nuts, with all the stuff that's been going on, man. It's absolutely nuts. If I got to listen to TalkSport rail on about Iran one more time, I'm going to lose my shit, dude.
I can't listen to those Muppets.
Jim White absolutely does my head in. This guy is such a little drama queen. He's literally just a pot stirrer. He's like this weird woke, little. I just don't get.
He's a little goblin, Jim White. And I
just can't stand listening to him.
The channel's just full of absolute cretins, all mindless cretins.
When Martin Keown comes on, I just kind of go leave doing my thing because I can't stand Martin Keown.
I'd rather listen to an elephant take a shit.
It's beautiful, that sound, an elephant taking a shit. You guys, I know we kind of went off the rails a little bit at the end, but that's all right. It was a good show. It was a good conversation. It was nice to rant a little bit about fees. It's nice to talk a little bit about Ineos and whatnot. We all have our demands. We all have our expectations. We all have our kind of personal opinions on what we should be doing, who should we sign. It is what it is. Like Rob said earlier, we may disagree, but it doesn't mean anybody's right or wrong. It's just we have disagreements. It is what it is. We all see football through different lenses. We all kind of look at it from different angles, and that's the point of the channel. Honestly, if we're getting down to the nitty gritty, but
how boring would it be if we all just agreed with each other?
Yeah, it would be really weird. You have to look at things from a different angle, otherwise it's always going to look exactly the same. So I
know the three Man City fans that exist all agree with each other, but that's just another weird situation.
Yeah, and the only thing they can agree upon is that, prove it. That's the refrain from the Man City fans.
It's only two Gallaghers and the one that they constantly roll out on the overlap. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't stand these idiots.
That must be a fun Christmas party.
Yeah, right. So, just streamers and like Punch and.
But also, we announced today that the big deal they made about the most unkept secret ever about Pep's board replacement, right?
Oh yeah.
That is the biggest knife in that Man City machine. Who cares if they get any sanctions now? Because they have just poisoned themselves with the worst coach I have ever seen in the Premier League.
I don't know if he'll be there at the end of the season. Honestly,
he won't be there. He won't be there come Christmas, mate.
Yeah, it's gonna be
no chance. He's gonna. You think City played bad football towards the end under Pep? You wait till the utter trash they get.
It's gonna be fun to watch that train wreck. Even more fun if they're proven guilty of anything. All I need is one charge to stick, and everything is gonna get asterisk. That's all I need.
Yep.
So, you guys, if you enjoyed the discussion tonight, if you got involved, please do a little bit more. Please hit that like button if you haven't yet.
Smash that like, you guys.
Subscribe button for me too. We are on the road to 4K. Let me get what this poll's at. 27 votes, legends, all of you. 56% of you say no, Rashford should not get a second chance there.
Who voted yes?
A lot of people.
Is anybody brave enough to put their name in the chat that they voted yes? I don't reckon they will. I don't think they will. Because the people I know that are brave enough wouldn't have voted yes.
Well, Rob, I appreciate that. And really, it's just your guys' channel. I just throw the topics out and get your guys' opinion. But we appreciate you guys, legends. Thank you guys for jumping in. Remember, it is the final call for 20% off in the UVE store. Check the links below if you want to learn a little bit more about Mamadou Sangare, if you want to learn about why Adam Wharton is the perfect midfielder. Go check out the links in the description below. There are some videos in there as well. And check those memberships, you guys. It's the best way to get involved in the channel, in the content, WhatsApp group, scouting report. Don't forget, we will do a scouting report later on this week as well. I got 5 more hidden gems, rising stars, and future ballers for you guys to check out and add to your list. So be sure to come back for that. Got a Welsh defender in there, and I got a goalkeeper in this one too. So
yeah, Rob got that first try.
Yeah, Rob did guess it first try. I threw it out there for Rob, but
you guys in the WhatsApp group or anyone here that were thinking about joining, there is a thing going in our WhatsApp group. You've got to try and find a player that Sean either hasn't heard of or hasn't scouted already, excluding Danny, because Danny's just as freakish as Sean, just knows everything about certain players. So if you can come up with a player that neither of them have heard of,
if you could find a player that I haven't scouted yet, and you can't just go pick a random player from you guys know what I'm getting at, but yeah, go watch the scouting reports. They are fun times. You get to learn a little thing, get to look smart in front of your friends. So yeah, Rob did guess it first chance. Rob's Welsh, so I threw him a bone here, but yeah, he's a really good young defender, plays for Cardiff, so we'll be talking about him a little later on. But Ian,
we were talking about him the other week, me and Rob, after the Welsh game, and they got a couple of decent young players. The young Kumas kid is.
They've got some good players. They got a center back at Wrexham that I did a scouting report on. He's really good as well. They've got. I was thinking today about teams that aren't in the World Cup that I'm not used to not seeing in the World Cup. And Wales were in there, Italy obviously in there as well. Nigeria was another one that I was a little shocked at. But what you gonna do, you guys? Ian, thank you again for jumping on tonight, my man. I appreciate your insight, your opinions. We have a good little between you, me, and Dylan. I think we balance each other out pretty well. So it's good to have a good little trifecta of personalities in there. But appreciate you for sticking around and getting involved, man.
Always,
say goodbye to the legends in the chat, and I'll let you get on your merry way as well.
Peace.
Later, guys.